I'm Luis and I'm going to explain what is an exponential function and how to get the characteristic point. Well, basically, an exponential function is a function whose value is a constant raised to the power of a variable. In this example, we have our constant and our variable. Well, talking about how to get the characteristic point, the first thing we have to do is to look at the power and then equalize it to 0. In this example, we have x minus 2, so our answer is going to be 2. Well, to find the other point, we have to look at the asymptote. In this case, our asymptote is in 3 because the constant that doesn't have power is going to tell us where the asymptote is. So, the trick is to look in the point that is over the asymptote. In this case, it's going to be 4. And that's our characteristic point for this example. But there is a change when we have a negative sign here. And the only thing that changes is that you have to look in a point that is down the asymptote, not over. That's our characteristic point.
In this exponential function, we have a reflection over the y-axis because the x is negative. The domain on all exponential functions is always all real numbers.
And we would have an x reflection if this x was positive. Now the range, we can get it from the horizontal asymptote to the infinite. And in the exponential functions, we cannot have vertical asymptotes, only horizontal asymptotes.
Where x is 4 and y is 1. Then because the function goes up, we need to go one point down to find the asymptote. So the asymptote is in y equals 0. In this one, the base is negative. It means that from the normal one, it makes a reflection on the x-axis. And this one makes a reflection on the x-axis and on the y-axis.
After the explosion of generator 4, the radioactive elements were dispersed throughout the area through the wind. And in addition to spreading, it remains in places, animals, and even humans. In addition, an attempt was made to prevent radioactive elements from being dispersed into the air. Nuclear energy is dangerous because if you do not take the necessary measures to control nuclear energy, you can generate a blast that releases radioactive elements outdoors. And in order to generate this type of energy, it is necessary to manipulate different radioactive materials, which can alter the genetic composition of a living organism and cause mutations in the body.
When the element of uranium is hit by an accelerated neutron, it is divided into 2 elements that release 3 additional neutrons, and these 3 are going to divide other atoms. And for each division of atoms, another 3 are released. And this is growing exponentially, creating an intense release of energy exponentially.
In order to reduce the emission of radioactive elements arising from the Chernobyl generator, the idea of creating a dome containing the emission of radioactive elements has been proposed, and is believed to last over 300,000 years until waste is almost completely reduced.
Exponential growth is when a number is raised to the power of another.
And the decline is
When the power is negative and you can see a reflection in y-axis. Using nuclear energy is a great responsibility and depends on the state and how nuclear energy is worked, since it can be in a pure state or it can be manipulated by the hand of a man.
In Mexico, we can find the Laguna Verde nuclear power plant. It is the only nuclear power generation facility in Mexico. It is located in the municipality of Alto Lucero de Gutiérrez Barrios, located in the state of Veracruz. Nuclear power plants provide a large amount of electronic current to communities and can supply large numbers of people.
The disaster could have been prevented because security protocols should have been respected. The workers of the plant made a huge mistake, and in trying to correct it, they continue to make more mistakes because they didn't follow the rules established by the plant.
After what happened, there was no way to stop the radiation, and it spread quickly through the air. And the radioactivity of the accident did not reach Mexico since it was very little and only damaged the place where it exploded and the neighboring places.
Some of the environmental consequences of the Chernobyl disaster in 1986 are the contamination of soil and air, provoked precipitation of radioactive rain, infertility in plant life, and nature has spread because of the human abandonment of the area with radiation. Nuclear weapons are very dangerous in the environment because when they explode, they release a radioactive material affecting the health of both people and animals, as well as that of plants. A short-term effect will be instantaneous death because much radioactive is received in little time, and a long-term effect will be to develop cancer, leukemia, hair loss as it is received.
As a proposal for change, we could use less nuclear energy and stop being afraid of an accident. If we start to use renewable energy sources just like solar and hydraulics. But for this, we must implement and develop the procurement of these resources. Other examples of exponential growth, in addition to Chernobyl's radiation, we have the reproduction of bacteria with the formula of constant growth with the number of Euler. Another example will be the amount of money that we save in the bank, because when we insert the money in the bank, we are generating an interest, and this interest makes our money grow in an exponentially way. To conclude, this was an interesting project, and we met other people, and it was fun.